What happened to Roblox Arsenal? Once a giant of a game, now to this. Arsenal has slowly fallen into a dead game. With minimal changes to the gun game style Arsenal brought, it made it very repetitive. I'll talk about this word later because it is key to Arsenal's slow decline. Everybody in the Roblox community was playing Arsenal in 2020, but what happened? Today, I'm going over the rise and fall of Roblox Arsenal and how it could have been prevented. It all started when a group on Roblox, Rolf Community, known for making popular games off the Steam platform such as CSGO and Team Fortress 2, and importing them into Roblox as a game called Counter-Strike and Typical Colors 2. They released a new game called Gun Game, but it was later rebranded into Arsenal in late 2016. It was based from a popular CSGO game mode called Arms Race. We know this because there is actually a badge in Arsenal referencing the old CSGO game mode. The game was a mild success and had a small community of players, but this was all about to change. Rolf implemented a new engine from Typical Colors 2, which made the game more smooth and allowed for cool features such as rocket jumping. Content creators would shortly find the game. These included Chaseroonie, Bandite and John Roblox, making the game popular on YouTube, which not only strengthened the community, but increased the active players to around 2,000 to 5,000. 2019 saw one of 3 new eras of Arsenal. This was when the game started to gain traction on Roblox and hit the popular tab. The Summer Update 1 was the best update for Arsenal in my opinion, as it was the first big update for the game. They also won their first of 2 Bloxies for the game, which was the best trailer of the year. Nearing the end of the year, Arsenal's seen a massive increase in players once again, but this was just the build-up for the best year Arsenal has ever had. "2020 was the second era of Arsenal, without a doubt the best year for Arsenal. The player count was sky high, sitting at around 40,000 players on average. It's probably to do with, cough cough. This is the time Arsenal won its second Bloxy award, which is insane. This was immense for Arsenal's growth, peaking at around 90,000 players for the second ever summer update. New content creators such as Tanker, Fusion Boys and Jimbo Slice were emerging. Tanker, despite starting in late 2019, made 2020 the best year for Arsenal on YouTube, and inspired many players to start playing Arsenal and stick around for years to come. He quit Arsenal in 2021 and still leaves a huge imprint on Arsenal to this day. The Halloween update was promised to be a live event, bringing massive YouTubers such as Creekcraft and many more live streaming the event. It was hyped up for weeks, only for it not to work. After this, Arsenal began to decline, but managed to pick itself back up until 2021. 2021 brought arguably the best event to ever come to Arsenal. This was the FNAF event. After this, Arsenal began to decline. Rolf announced they were not planning updating the game for another 4 to 5 months, which was bound to make the game lose popularity on Roblox. Now we get into the funny word I mentioned at the start of the video: repetition. Arsenal with updates was quite repetitive, but now it was a disaster waiting to happen. This was super bad timing as a newly emerging game called Bed Wars was published, pretty much sealing all of the Arsenal big creators. With the YouTube scene dead during this time and no updates to the game, Arsenal began to slowly perish. The big summer update came with lots of false promises, one of those being build mode. When the summer update 3 dropped, players realised many of the promises Rolf made weren't there, and this angered the community. This was the tipping point for players as they realised the devs were not trusted and were super unreliable. At the end of 2021, in December, Exoni, the new main developer, created a maze-type game. He named this The Knight's Edge, and it was a fun quest involving many of the developer swords that people were hyped about. This ran into the start of 2022. which I believe the third and final era for Arsenal. A new and improved Arsenal was announced on Twitch livestream with Exone discussing a better Arsenal. This was also known as A2, standing for Arsenal 2. The entire game was planning to be remade, making it easier for updates in the future, as the old Arsenal code was messy and needed fixing ASAP, as Arsenal is a super old game. Later this year in 2022, the alpha release for A2 began for a few weeks. This was met with some criticism as it lacked the fun cartoony Arsenal style, which made Arsenal how it was in 2020. 2023 so far has been great for Arsenal, updating a lot, adding the Knight's Edge event with a new boss fight was super cool. After killing the boss fight you would receive this cool melee, called the Knight's Edge melee. They also added a 10,000 health boss, which has only been beaten by a selected number of players. After this, the new retro update came, adding 12 unique skins into the game and bringing back the Brick Battle game mode. The decline in Arsenal all stemmed from the lack of updates, poor timing and false promises, which was met with an inevitable decline in players. Even though Arsenal is not where it used to be, it is still the #1 FPS game on the Roblox platform and is enjoyed by thousands of players daily. Now if you did enjoy this video, please make sure to subscribe, as it took a super long time to make and edit, and it would be much appreciated.